meeting to order at 7:02. First item on the agenda, acceptance of secretary's reports. We have 3 sets of reports to discuss and approve. We have January's regular minutes. We have the executive session. If we want to, we'll talk about that, whether we want to release those at this time, and then we have the very brief minutes from the very brief meeting in February, where basically we just convened to approve the updated budget. So we'll start with January minutes from the regular session. Any motion to approve? Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a vote to approve the motion to accept. Amy?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
Chris? Yes. Jackie?
Yes.
Yes, that is unanimous. The executive session meeting minutes, is there any reason not to release those at this point that anyone can think of?
I don't believe so.
I think it's ancient history. It's been overwritten many times since then. So okay, if everyone is okay with that, I'll entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion on the executive session minutes? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Amy?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
Chris? Yes. Jackie?
Yes.
Yes, that passes unanimously. Finally, the minutes from the February out of cycle meeting that we had. Is there a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on those? Very good. We'll go to a vote on the motion. Amy?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes.
Yes. Passes unanimously, all 3 sets of minutes. Moving on to the monthly staff reports. Start with, is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, discussion. So on Laura's behalf, she had a question about the carols and where those might be going and how imminent all of that was. I know you had responded directly back to her, Catherine, but we're still in the planning phase on how much space we need to reclaim and where they would go and things like that. Is that true?
Right, I didn't put that on the agenda as new business today. I just pretty much wanted to draw everyone's attention to it, and it will probably be on the next agenda. The next meeting's agenda as new business. We're gonna want to get rid of some of those carols. Jackie was saying today probably at least 10. And they're beautiful pieces of furniture, so I'll have to figure out exactly how to do it. But we're gonna wanna talk about whether or not that is something we wanna let go of. The way we feel now is that we don't have any place to store them, and they're taking up really needed space that we need for other things. And people aren't using them. They're just not using them. If we could repurpose them in some way, we would. A couple of them we built like something else out of it. So we would do that if we could, but it's gonna be a longer conversation, and I wanna make sure that I have more information to give you about options. So I'll look at what the requirements are when you either give it to another library or give it to another town department or whatever those requirements are, I'll have all that. And then we'll see if we can make some decisions about what we wanna do.
Very good, yeah, I mean, on the one hand, it's always a shame if you have furniture in good working order to let it go, but on the other hand, if it's no longer meeting the operational needs of the library, time to make a decision. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. All right, anybody else on the staff reports?
The WMLMGLD program on solar, just the second part of that sentence caught my, after which I clarified how we can provide better logistics.
Yeah, so that, we weren't sure if we were partnering or we didn't really know what was happening. And we didn't have good communication, so 100 people showed up. They hadn't necessarily registered, so we weren't sure what was gonna happen. There were too many things that fell between the cracks. So we contacted, everybody over there is really nice. So we contacted them and said, we can do this better. And so, because it's information people really wanted, it was all about the solar thing.
Is it the program room?
It was in the lecture hall. So there were over 100 people showed up and some people, they couldn't all get in a room. And then they were kind of irritated because they wanted the information. Did they do it more than once? I think.
We offered to do it.
We offered to do it more than once and I guess they didn't have to. Something makes me think they did it someplace else. Like at the Civic Center or something, I think they did it again. But anyway, if we have to do it again, we'll have better communication and it will go a little smoother. Cause I think there were patrons who were, not pleased.
They're publishing your library history interview? Everybody go on?
What?
Your library history interview?
Oh,
The
yeah.
student that
He
interviewed
wasn't
you?
from Wakefield High, I found out, but he wasn't a Wakefield student, but he goes to private school.
Okay.
He ended up doing it all by email. He didn't actually come in. We talked, he was gonna come in, we were gonna do it by Zoom, and then he just had all kinds of commitments and everything, so it ended up by email.
Does the collective bargaining going on affect the turnover? Like when people are looking for positions, the head of circulation and the librarian, is that something they ask about? Or is that like not a, it's a no?
They don't usually,
We usually bring it up.
we usually mention it, but, cause it's not every library is, and
Right.
So we mention it, but no, it doesn't seem to be a factor. And we have filled the positions too.
Oh, both of them?
They haven't started yet, but so we keep our fingers crossed, we're fully staffed.
That was fast.
Yeah. Did you say that was fast?
It seemed fast.
It seemed fast too. I know, it
Yeah, I
doesn't
suppose
seem,
I have the luxury of not thinking about this for months at a time.
it doesn't seem fast to Megan, who's like in between two different jobs and, yeah, it's,
How about in between, she's doing them?
yeah, she's doing them, and blossoms, yeah, she's doing it all.
Where's the fiction bank at?
That, so in the fiction downstairs,
Yeah.
and there's 5 chairs are in a circle.
Yeah.
Off to the right of them in the wall, there's a picture
Yeah.
of the dog and the BB guy is there, yeah. And the stuffing's coming out and everything, I let it go way too long. Like all winter, I did not wanna go to Lynn to find and finally Jackie and Dave just went without me and brought back some samples, so we finally got that started.
And leaky roof?
It looked like a one-time thing. It's over the, that opening there. It came in, which is a new, we had never had a leak there before, that was new. It just happened once. Dave said sometimes with the weather, how it's been so windy, that sometimes, it's driving it. And it wasn't a tremendous amount, but it did come in.
I didn't see it, and I don't know if it fits appropriately, but, threat assessment for the bomb threat, ready, and do we have to?
Oh,
do
this was
that?
written before that, yeah.
Is that something
So
we'll
I-
talk about at another time?
I get patch, news alerts, so I got that on Saturday. And I looked at the staffing and it was all relatively new people. So I called and I said, you know, this is the procedure. And she said to me, I've got your number. But I knew what it was about, so I seemed unlikely that it would end up in Wakefield as well, but you don't know. So we were ready, and Reading opened at 1:00, so it's very unfortunate. I don't know what more you can say about that because it's a terrible thing.
Has that group met here?
Oh, no, they don't know who did the threat.
I understand that, but allegedly, the target to just be disrupted was having a session starting 15 minutes after.
Yeah,
That was called in.
it was a program, it was a drag queen story hour.
Right.
Yeah, no, we haven't had one. And we've talked about the subject matter.
Right.
Which is, my take is that if you have that, you cannot have it alone, out of context. You need a larger group of services in that kind of thing. We haven't had demand for it. I wanna say maybe we've had one person say that they were interested. I've had more things for like signing. And the other thing is sensory, which we do maybe.
Yeah,
We do the
sensory stuff.
The sensory stuff, we get a lot of demand for that, so,
Thank you.
Is that a recurring, I don't know if you know this, is it a recurring program that Reading
Yes.
does, or is it?
yeah, so
So
it's a little unusual.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised because this is old news. This
Yeah,
has
I
been
think
going
it was
on,
the
this has
first
been going on there for a long time. And the concept has been around, I think it started maybe in Brooklyn, New York, and it's been around for years, like this is not anything new, so to decide you're gonna, I mean, maybe it's not related, but it seems hard to believe it's not. Although it went to town hall too, so.
Oh, it did.
Town hall, but there was no one working.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How's Blossoms going? It's not ticket sales and all that.
A little slow, ticket
Yeah,
sales, but
I
not,
mean,
well, it's different every
I don't know
year.
if it fits in your report, we'll catch up later, but since you mentioned it,
She said she went to a Blossoms meeting.
we are really pushing hard on the sponsorship end, trying to find some money, and it seems to be trickling in here and there. Megan is handling one cause, and I wanna say the last time I heard anything, we had 86 or 88 tickets sold. That's not including sponsor people who are gonna show up. I know the auction needs some help, as they were collecting things and chasing things down, but the committee meets again next Wednesday, and I'm sure we will pull it all together splendidly.
So it's not sold out yet,
No,
so push the sales.
there you go,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, and that's not unusual, that it's not sold out yet, you get a rush. The
Yeah.
first good day in April, you'll start to see a little bit of a rush.
Generally, once the calendar flips to April,
Yeah.
it becomes more of a thing. And I think, the years we've sold out, it's been within a week or 10 days of the event, we're sold out. Sold out is becoming relatively now. I think, one year we had 500 people in the building, counting all the sponsorship tickets. So we haven't really capped the number of tickets because we're not.
And sometimes there's ebb and flow
Like
too,
that.
that people come in a little later, some people leave, some people.
It does definitely get waves of groups at certain hour windows. So,
Got my ticket.
excellent.
some recommended language for amending director's contract. What's the, when should we convene to enact that? Is that,
I'm not sure if we actually have to.
okay,
So I'm gonna find out about that, whether or not it's really even necessary. And then if we do, I'll just put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
okay. Yeah, I figured at a minimum, we shouldn't do anything until we actually know what the number is through the town meeting, probably, but, yeah, I guess just use.
You included some noble stuff at the end, is that, are we talking about that later, or stuff about the noble usage?
Oh, no, that was, correspondence. The noble value of services. Yeah, they give us that every year, but with the new executive director, she did it a little differently this year. So it's a little bit longer, but there's more detail.
And do we, like, under like titles bar, those numbers are already in our numbers, right? Like when we see the circulation numbers, those are already included.
In our own circulation numbers, or,
Yes,
yeah, yeah, this used to be a little more general. At the end, she gave a lot more detail about what we actually spend and what we actually, like Wakefield itself, the downloadable e-content was almost 29,000, and that's us, that's not all of Noble, that's us.
So, but all downloadable content goes to Noble, right, I guess?
We have some of our own, yeah,
Okay, so, but if you go through Libby or, it's all going through Noble, right?
yes.
I mean, yes, because that's who the contract is with, but we pay for some of it directly, we pay some of it to Noble, and they buy on our behalf. But it's all,
So there are some titles that are like ours, that are in the system, but they're ours.
yes, and the only real, the only way that changes it is that our people would get it first, our patrons, anyone would. So it would still be available to other Noble people, but our patrons would jump the line.
The math seems aggressive, but is that when they say 15,000 borrows, yeah, it's $208,000 worth of.
Oh no, that feels ridiculous.
Okay.
Unbelievably expensive.
Oh, I mean, so that's titles, that's like physical books, right? Cause there's the e-content and then there's titles borrowed.
Oh, which,
Yeah, you probably didn't see this, or did you?
no, I didn't look at the numbers yet.
She has titles borrowed 15,000, what are those?
So that's like when I
Wait, which
reserve
page is
a
that?
book from another library and they deliver it.
Possibly she was, it said, oh yeah, estimated cost of your library purchase 75% of the unique titles received from another Noble library. The average cost of $18 per title was based on the median price.
So they're saying if our library had to buy 15,000 more books.
They're unique titles that came from another library. So the fact that we're able to share them, and I collect math and science, and for the science books, that's really valuable to be able to see that someone, that Reading has something, or a lot of times Beverly has it. Because I have a sense if I buy it, it's gonna go out twice. So if you can get it from Beverly, if those two people can get it from another library, where they have a greater demand for it, it really saves us. Then I can purchase the things that I know are gonna go here.
I was just, obviously the purpose of this document is to make us all go, ooh, Noble is such a valuable, which I think it is.
Mhm.
But I just was saying, I looked at some of these numbers and went like, really, like, does that feel a little bit like we wouldn't have had to spend $200,000 more on books, right? Like, but
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we would have. I think that's what's so amazing about this, that the way it had been done before, it was all kind of, the value was, estimated for everyone, but he or she broke it down to what we actually used and what those numbers are. And it is like, being part of Noble is really, really significant, that we would not be, there's much that we would not be able to have.
That actually seems slightly low to me, to be honest, because we spend probably $100,000 on physical items a year from the materials budget. Would you say probably about 100,000?
Maybe even a little more.
Maybe even a little more, and we do not buy anywhere near 15,000 physical items a year.
And this, it doesn't include, these numbers don't show how many of our books go out. This is just how many books we drop in, right?
Yes. I think.
Yes, that's titles borrowed. What we loan, we were talking about this morning, what we loan is very close to what we borrow. It's always just there's just slight differences, but it's really close. And I was talking to Jack about it this morning, because I was wondering how much of that was an algorithm that they made, that maybe the system does that. I know they try to get things, it works to be efficient, and I find it very complicated, but the fact that the numbers are so close, that what's coming in and what's going out, always astounds me. And every year it's close.
Okay, anything else? Sounds like we're good, so we'll take a vote on the motion to accept the staff reports. Amy?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, passes unanimously. Public participation, on Zoom, no one in the room. Correspondence, we talked about Noble. Is there another item, correspondence?
The inter-office memo, that town meeting is April 29th at
Right.
7:00. And it's also time for the book sale. So we have a letter that goes to town council that we've done for years and years and years, that allows them to sell books with the understanding that the money comes back to the that the items are no longer useful for the library, and the money comes back to the library. And that has to be signed by, that's the agreement that's signed by both the president of the Friends and trustee chair.
That's me.
And then I'll send that to town council. And they should get it in time for their sale, because I think their sale is in May this year.
That's really
Yeah,
This is the last sale.
maybe, but I doubt it.
Not from what I heard.
But, yeah, it'll just be different. It'll be the last one that's like this, I think.
Oh, I can see it, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can you remember which we all have to sign, which, just here?
I think
Okay.
that was it.
All right, moving right along to committee reports, budget. So
Not
our
a budget, no.
2025, we're through the wickets to town meeting, is that the next?
The next step is town meeting. I
Yes.
watched capital planning, and they are recommending that we get the stairs fixed, and they are putting off the parking lot, and the DPW will just kind of take care of the parking lot a little bit until maybe next year. Steve Mayo has put in for earmark for the stairs. I don't know whether or not we'll get it, so the money is going into town meeting, so one way or another, the stairs will be done. But there's a possibility that there'll be an earmark coming from the state to help with that, because we had an earmark for the roof and they cut it by like $50,000, I think, last year, because something happened with the budget and they cut back on earmarks. So we'll see what happens, but that'd be nice if we could get a little extra money for it, because they have a lot of expenses right now.
Yes, absolutely, but it is certainly our most pressing concern.
And they all recognize that. I think the idea of the stairs being an earmark, it works for everyone because it's so visible and it's a nice fund.
It's easier to ignore the roof than it is to ignore the front stairs.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So are we talking about completely redoing the front stairs or just like a repointing them again?
Resetting them, so they'll take them apart, fix what's underneath it that maybe has crumbled a little bit, and then reset them. And one company that we had come up with it said they would do it in 3 sections. So they do one section and leave another so that you can still kind of use that space. I kind of think you won't be able to use the space. I think when they're working there, they're gonna have to block the whole thing off. But they would be able to do it in 3 sections, so
Do we know approximate cost on that?
70,000. Yeah, it's like 69 something.
Wow.
It's a lot of money, it's a big job.
I mean, I was
It's-
expecting
yeah.
a bigger number, I guess.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah, you need a lot of heavy equipment.
Yeah.
And, yeah,
What's the timeframe for, what is the end to end, how long is that?
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also wondering about when they would be able to start and what kind of weather they need to do it, because we have Plaza Jazz to think about.
We do a lot of things on it.
So, yeah, we do a lot of things on the plaza, so
But it wouldn't be this,
it would start as of July 1st. We'd be able to do it anytime after July 1st.
if it was your part.
If it what?
If you got the year part.
Either way, because it's in the capital, it was voted, it's been proposed for capital. So, it doesn't matter to us really so much as it matters to the town will get the money back if it's an earmark, and if it's not, they're gonna fund it, because it's in real disrepair, somebody's gonna get hurt. So I was hoping maybe they can do it in September.
Yeah, it's funny, I was
I was
gonna
gonna
say,
say
a late
September.
September, October project.
Yeah, so the weather would still be nice enough, it wouldn't be so hot. And we'd have the Plaza for Jazz.
Plaza Jazz ends in August, right? Usually.
They drove into
Yeah.
September.
I've gone into September before, it depends on how much money there is and whether or not there's musicians who wanna do it and, yeah. But we can do whatever we want.
We got some kind of grant towards that last year in addition to the.
I had 2,
Yeah.
so it went June to, into September.
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm saying.
I had so many, resources.
Building and grounds, I'm sorry, was there anything else on budget? Building and grounds, we covered the item I was gonna bring up, the stairs, so that's good news there. Anything else for building and grounds?
When they do the stairs for that meeting, when they do the sign as well.
The sign? What are we talking about, the marquee?
Yeah, well,
Is it a basin doing
I
the
don't know.
marquee?
No, I don't know when we're doing the marquee, because we don't have a screen yet. But I did see that Randolph just got a screen for the side of their library. And I can't tell from the photograph what it really looks like, but I'm gonna contact them and find out where they got it. Because if that was on a state contract, that might be an easy, I don't know, nobody seems to wanna touch this project. And I haven't wanted to do it without getting somebody to do the whole job, because I'm afraid of being sold something that you put it in there and then they can't get it in, or it doesn't work, and then who do you go to?
One vendor end to end
Yeah,
for that project.
which has been hard to find, so. We'll see. Yeah, we've got a lot of little projects, all kinds of little projects. Our phones, that was in the report too. The phones our internet is not as fast as it's supposed to be. And we couldn't figure out why, and Noble kept saying, this is what it should be, why is yours not that? And it turns out it's the phones, their voice over internet, and they're throttling the speed. And so we can get new phones, we have to order them, and it goes through IT, and it's been crickets. So, I don't know when that's gonna happen. But it's hard, because they're in over their head, they're doing so many things that,
Is it the phones or is it how the network is configured? Do we know, does it matter?
I was told it was the phones themselves, that the phones are, any computer that does not have a phone attached to it is working fine. So those that are on a line, they must share a line or something. And the phone itself is an old model, and the newer models, I guess, allow it to run faster.
And what?
You know, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Did you unplug it and plug it back in?
I'm just repeating what we shut it off and stuff.
However, well done.
I'm just repeating what I've been told.
I have some questions, I'm not gonna hold everybody up here.
Send them to me and I'll find out, and I'll ask like a person who knows. It might be, the phone people might know. I'd be able to tell me, yeah.
All right, I'm curious. All right. I'll formulate my thoughts and get back to you.
Okay, cause I can send you like what the phone is too, so you can see the specifications on it, see how it works maybe.
All right, that sounds good, thank you. Friends, there's been at least 2 Friends meetings since last we met. Did anyone go to either?
I did.
Very
You
good.
went to
I
one
attended
and Laura went to the other.
Okay. The one I went to was when they were chatting about, all the money they had to turn over in their CD.
You know,
And that's a bite your tongue moment, but it was interesting hearing some of the people in there, wondering if maybe we should have given more to the library. And the interesting part about the CD, which I didn't see, was they were talking about they can get a 5% interest rate if they run it for 7 months instead of 6. So their $30,000 odd CD, I assume, has been rolled over now. There was a lot of chatter about the book sale and the dates and some of the mailings and some of the stuff that need to do to get more people out. And there was a lot of chatter about the facility where they're being forced to do all this and the poor condition of it, which if you read last night's Daily, there was another swing at that by Cindy about how poor that facility is and leaks and the cold and the damp and the stuff that's going on there. But I think for those were my 2 takeaways were the book sale and their CD money. They're actually working on a strategic plan as well. And I think their total membership right now was 317.
that's up a little bit.
They're
Yeah,
working on a
membership
membership
split.
program. That's,
Yeah, so Laura said they filled 2 vacant board positions with a treasurer and a director. They talked about document retention and destruction. The book sale is May 15th to 18th. The goal of the book sale is to raise money for the library, but also to create a great event for the community. They're considering acquiring a book collection box. And they had a successful open house with at least 20 attendees who are potential volunteers. And something about the strategic plan too, but they ran out of time to actually do anything on that, but that's always on their agenda. So they're busy.
All right, any comments, questions, concerns?
I think it's interesting that they're planning on doing a community event.
That's new, right?
What was-
That's a rephrasing of the book sale, right?
What?
Is the goal of the
The
book sale.
community
is
fundraising event?
and a community event?
Oh, no, it always has been an event for the community. The book sale has always kind of been considered a community event.
What was that goal?
Huh?
I don't know if that was a goal before, but
Oh, I don't know, maybe it had been recognized that way, or just over time, they realized that people like came out and liked it as a community event. I'm starting to feel that way about Blossoms, like even if it doesn't raise money, are we gonna have to do it?
Well, that,
Because
I'm worried about it.
because
That-
people like,
that has been floated in the past.
yeah, because people like the event, so, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the book sale is I would say like a family event that we do every year. And I think like calling it a community event, it maybe helps broaden their horizons, find a new space.
I'm sorry, I misheard that with my challenged hearing at my advanced age, because it sounded to me like they were looking to have some other kind of community event beyond the book sale. So I'm sorry, that was my.
Oh, I see.
I misheard that.
Oh, okay.
They're rebranding the book sale as a community event.
It came up in the town council meeting Monday night. Cause they were talking about the art funding, ARPA funds.
Yeah.
And 400,000 for the senior center.
Yes. Yeah.
Top space and maybe
That was mentioned in the same letter.
earmarking some of that for possibly for Friends bookstore usage. So I guess they still have a year in the town council.
Well, it was voted down.
I did see that mentioned.
Yeah, because they really the town council really wants that space to be reserved for seniors. So if an office goes in there, it should be something that benefits seniors, because I think they want the building to be all for the benefit of seniors. That would be the plan.
Clear logic there.
Yeah, and
It is disappointing for the Friends.
I would feel that way about the library too.
Well, sure.
I mean, if there was space here that they did on the roof, I wouldn't necessarily want just anything to go there. I
Right.
would want, because everybody's dying for more space.
like the fundamental challenge is that it's the costs involved in actually storing it in a place that isn't very equal the amount that they would make at book sale every year. So
They
there's,
lose money, I think.
oh yeah, it's just that there's no
There's no,
way to, which is why I was curious whether you felt that they were shifting it towards that community event, because if you take away the fact that they need to raise money with it, then that makes the math work better, right? But if you make $12,000 a year, but spend $12,000 a year on storage,
yeah,
then that's
because although it is a nice community event, you can alter it to continue to make it, to have something that functions as a community event that doesn't cost you. Or that doesn't, or that earns money without having to spend more than you, or I don't know. My personal opinion is that I think it's not sustainable. I don't think you'll find volunteers that will work the numbers of hours. I mean, I know they have hundreds of volunteers, but there are 2 or 3 that have like a full-time job. And there aren't a lot of people that can do that. So we'll see what happens, but for now, it is a nice little community event, and it's reading and it's books and most all of that, but it's it has to work.
Yes, I know there was at one point. Lately, have there been requests of the Friends that they've said no in terms of funding?
No, but we haven't made any.
Well, I know that we did it as sort of one bulk thing this
Yeah.
year, which was probably better, but
Yeah, we'll request again for summer reading. And possibly the, phone booths. Yeah,
Go on.
we're considering phone booths. And I'll send you a picture of what they look like, but it's like a modern phone booth. And it would be a place that people could take a call or, do a Zoom meeting. And it's not a private room, but it's space. That's one of the reasons why we need to eliminate carols. Cause we have to be careful where we put those. We really can't put them on the main floor because it would ruin the look. But it's one of the things we're thinking of.
I'm sorry, could the carols be retrofitted to become a phone booth or no?
No, these are specially made for offices and they're quiet and they have air in them and they, so you can keep them clean, you can see inside, you can lock them. And they have power and everything that you would need to do a Zoom meeting, so they're like specially designed.
Like a cone of silence.
It's like the cone of silence, yeah, it's like a TARDIS. It's that, yeah. It is pretty much a phone booth. But that's the number one request we get that we say no to. Just yesterday, someone was at my door and was looking for a place to take a phone call. And there just isn't any place.
Is there a number on price point on stuff like that?
Yeah, it's between 6,000 and 8,000.
Per unit?
What are the dimensions?
I don't know them off the top of my head, but we could get 2 up here where the carols are by the window.
So cut 2 feet, 3 feet, 6 feet, probably
I mean,
6 by 6.
well, you know what?
No,
It's like maybe the size of that door. It's like that.
Interesting.
It's like you could, some of them you can sit, some of them have stools, some of them have regular chairs, some of them have stools, there's a lot of variations. And there's usually like a little counter. Probably pretty close to a phone booth.
Yeah,
Any libraries in the area?
Right.
I don't know if they have the one that we were looking at,
No,
but we have to
a
go
lot
over,
of them have.
we have to go over and look at it. Reading has one. Their building is different than us, but go over there and check it out. She said it gets used a lot.
That would be a friend's request?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, that would be something.
2?
They could even have a plaque on it that said it was sponsored by the Friends, that's a good Friends purchase.
Sign it up.
Yeah.
Are there ongoing costs? It's just it just has like power outlet, but it's not like,
No, there was still 60.
it's not like wired or something, that we have to have like a phone line.
That's what I'm wondering, is how we
We have what we need is in the floor by where the carols are. So, I mean, that's part of it, you need to be able to power it.
Right.
So if there's power in the floor, that's half your battle right there, and that there is power right there.
Does it have its own camera?
I assume you need to bring it up.
Oh, some of them,
Some of the bigger
some of
ones
them
do,
did,
but not the individual ones, you would just bring your own laptop.
Yeah,
But
one of them
I
had,
think it's a good answer.
one of them had a screen, but I
There was like a
I
4-person
think
one.
bringing your own,
Some of them are
and we have, we could always have laptops that we could loan.
Sure.
Because we have, the Chromebooks.
Sure, but better to have it piecemeal like that than all built into a single unit.
Right. I think so too, one less thing to have to fix as part of the unit.
Yes.
Or we don't want recordings of everyone's phone calls.
Okay, anything else for the friends? Gift funds,
First Financial Trust has a new website. And that's about all that's new with gift funds, and it works. I got all the funds and everything transferred fine, and looks the same, it's just a different interface, a little bit, so, and a new password and everything.
legislative advocacy.
There was a breakfast at Endicott College, and I missed it because I thought it was this week. It was actually last Friday. But I saw our representatives at the chamber breakfast. And, except, I don't see Jason Lewis as often as I probably should. I don't see him as often, I used to see him more often before. But Donald Wong and, Katie Bugarabini, and I see fairly regularly, they're good supporters, so if we needed something, I could call them.
And we have the second half of our state aid coming.
I don't know when.
I don't know. It's appropriated and fine, but
They just
held
don't-
up.
Yeah, I thought that, because we usually have it by now.
And apparently people have been emailing me, Kate said, stop emailing me, I don't know. They don't know, it's,
It's across the street though. There's a bunch of groups.
yeah, it was everywhere, it wasn't on
That
the
were
yeah.
just, not really good.
Yeah. Jackie did something with MBLC this morning and discovered that, what was it,
33% of directors in the state are new, which is like 120 directors.
New as in, yeah, less than a year?
New, this was as of,
it was
this
the
was
last
as of
fiscal year. Last fiscal year, a third of the directors were new.
Is that general turnover, a lot of retirement, COVID correlation?
Combination?
There's just so much movement, I don't know, there's so much.
That just sounds like an extraordinary number for a position like that.
I guess
Yeah.
I'd be curious to find out how many are new to the role, full stop, versus new to that particular library.
Most of them are new to the role, which is why they did this webinar, and they had started doing it last year because so many people had never filed state aid before.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
If that's everything on legislative advocacy, we'll move on to personnel. Not sure where the line between this item and the first item of new business is, but I'll ask about the collective bargaining.
The collective bargaining is in process, it's going well, it's fine. I did have a couple of people ask me about the role of the trustees and whether or not you actually need to be there. We do have a full room when we meet here, and it's been me and Steve and Amy Forziati, who's the head of HR. They are phenomenal. They're really, really good, and it's all been really nice. It's been nice meetings. And when I looked at my contract, I am the executive director for this board, and what it says I'm responsible for, all of those things that it says that regarding staffing and everything, puts me in a position where I can be representing you at those meetings, so that's fine. You don't have to come, and we've talked about it and it's fine. I need to keep you apprised that that it's functioning, which it is, everything's really fine. There's a placeholder at town meeting for the settlement. And so the goal is to have it settled before town meeting, so they have a number. And they'll put the number in, and hopefully with the timing works, and it will all be one whole budget that doesn't need to be broken up by, worrying about doing it in November.
Sure. Certainly cleaner and preferable in almost every imaginable way, but it's also not unprecedented. I can think of many town meetings where we've had fire or police or whatever the unit is, where we've had to table the motion to next town meeting. So
Yeah.
I think the town's equipped to handle it,
Yeah.
but obviously better just get it.
Yeah, the worst part of it is that your increases are delayed, so we're doing that in November or December, and it's just a lot of work. That if you don't have to do it, everybody's much happier.
You're doing all your numbers twice, basically.
Right. Yeah. But this looks like it's on track.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have an interest in getting there to represent, but, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock is,
It's tough time.
is tough.
Yeah.
Even if I could take the vacation time to be there,
I know.
I'm still taking vacation time, so, if it, please obviously keep me and the board appraised when the
Right.
next meetings are, but, a couple of folks I talked with one-on-one seem comfortable with you representing the board, so, if anything else not, I guess let me know.
We'll do that.
Okay, so anything else on personnel before I claim victory on that and our first item of new business? Okay, very good. Moving on to the second item under new business, strategic planning update.
So we finished, we're on a roll. We finished the surveys, we finished pretty much all of the needs assessments. We did a survey for students. It didn't get as many responses as I would have liked, but we did okay. And they're fascinating, they're really interesting. And the responses from the community surveys have been interesting, we got some good information back. So we'll work on it. Jackie did some, you have to do a profile of the library and the town. So Jackie pulls together an infographic, because that seems to be what they're doing more of. Because I think the MBLC is tired of seeing history of your town, every 5 years. So one of the things we looked at, which is really significant, is the length of time that the staff has been employed as librarians. And in 2017, the average was 17 years. So you're talking like somebody was there for 40 years, somebody was relatively new, but the average was 17 years. We're down to 9. And the most frequent number there is now 0. We have so many, the most frequent number is all the new people that have just come. So,
in essence, new to the industry.
and the people that we're hiring are pretty new.
Are they
I think we're getting really good candidates.
crossovers from other industries, or are they graduates from programs?
Most are just graduates,
Most are
they're
graduates.
fairly young.
The crossover we have is, what we mentioned before, was Kristen, who took over in tech services, and she's doing technology. She's came from banking. She's done the tech work in banking for a long time. Just wonderful. So she can probably explain the phone thing.
Is that, is that a negative or a positive or neutral, just like a change in experience, what's the significance of obviously you have your decline of experience totally, but
Yeah.
how does that affect
Well,
operations?
I would say a couple of weeks ago, I probably would have said it was neutral, and now I'm really feeling like I'm looking at everything a whole new way, because we are not, when I first took the directorship, I was working with people who had mentored me. So when we would have meetings, we were completing one another's sentences. These were the people who had taught me how to write policy. And now I'm the last man standing, and I'm working with people who have no history, so they don't know. So Saturday comes and there's a bomb scare in the next town, and I have to call here, because I'm pretty sure nobody in the building has had this experience before. Whereas before, they almost all had the experience before, and they knew what to do. And even when I said, we have the policies, this is what you do, this is exactly what you do, the first thing she said to me was, I've got your number. So, yeah, they know what to do, but they're gonna call me. That's what they're gonna do, and I'm gonna come down and say, because, and so I just have to look at it differently. we really have to, and as we're doing this strategic plan, I think we're gonna have to write that into the plan. So I was looking forward, like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and now I'm realizing we have to step back and really get some groundwork. And there are some intergenerational things, there are some generational differences that, you know, you look at the world a little differently. So we just all need that, we all need to have our cards on the table and say, this is how I look at that, this is how do you look at that? When I say this, what do you hear? Because it's not the same all the time, you know?
Thoughts of like incorporating with the decline of like your average experience, so the thoughts of incorporating maybe some continuity documents.
Oh, yeah. So, and we have that to a certain extent, but does everybody know where it is? Does everybody know who's got what role? I don't even know what everybody does and doesn't know, because, and it seemed like it happened really fast. Like, you know, we were kind of moving along, and then all of a sudden, nobody knows anything, you know? Or things that I take for granted that everyone knows, they don't. So, you know, I was thinking today, are there people who don't know about the toaster oven? Does everybody know about the toaster oven? Yeah. I have a rule for no toaster oven, because I should relook at it again, but the idea is that toaster ovens are notoriously bad for causing fires. And so the rule was just no toaster oven, and everybody who works the kind of hours these people work want a toaster oven. So it's not popular, but, and I think it's unexpected, you know, so I was thinking about it today and thought, there's new people who won't know. It's onboarding though, isn't it?
No.
It's not, no.
It's the first thing people say when they eat in the staff room. Somebody goes, oh, have you ever thought about getting a toaster oven? And everybody's like, hang on.
Yeah, that's my one thing. I just really, that would just be a big mistake. It's too risky, it's just too risky. So, for me it is anyway, but I saw a new one in New York Times, and I was wondering if they're actually safer than they used to be. But you know, you've got 20 people, you don't even know who used it last. Somebody puts something in there and they walk away. I don't know, it just seems risky to me.
I'm just imagining your retirement and like the following Monday.
It is toaster
Toaster ovens in every
Everybody
room.
brings it
on
in
every floor, on every floor, you know? I know.
Jackie's got a cart full of Amazon cart full of toaster ovens.
Everybody gets a toaster oven. So, I don't know if there's anything else about the strategic plan, but we wanna try to have it ready for you by the May or June meeting. It's not due until October, but it's always easier to do it while it's fresh.
Oh, for sure.
You know, why wait?
Yeah, I mean,
We can make the time to do it.
we're so far along, I mean, unless you tell me otherwise, I don't see a reason not to get that done before we adjourn the summer.
That's what I think too.
Okay, all right, great. IT committee, so I'll open up the floor first before any thought, we kind of left it on ellipsis last time.
I think we should wait until we do the reorg after the election.
So I think we need to want to make sure that there's something, there's enough there that the committee would vote on in order to form it. We'll wait for the election. Either way, I have questions, Catherine, I'm gonna bring them to you, so whether there's a committee or not.
Oh, yeah, well, I think that's what everyone should do. I did ask around other directors, and a lot of people said that their boards had talked about it and never made a decision, could never figure out, like, they felt a sense of responsibility but didn't know exactly what it should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that seems to be where it is for everyone. No one has an actual committee, but they've all talked about it.
I wonder if it's something where maybe we consider it an IT liaison person instead of a multi-person committee.
yeah,
I didn't notice what they're talking
it almost seems like we're like right on the precipice of there being enough there for a subcommittee, but maybe not quite yet. I don't know. Anyway, folks have more time to think about it.
We should
next time-
probably include Megan in this conversation.
Well, for sure.
Yeah, because she knows how much is actually involved, more actually than I do. And so she would know.
Ultimately, when I first came to you, one of the first things I said was I don't want to create work by asking these questions, but on the flip side, someone should know just like what's in the building. So,
Right.
Okay, that sounds good. And we will meet one more time before town meeting, is that right? Assuming we meet as scheduled on the 24th, town meeting is the 29th.
Oh.
The election is the election the 23rd?
Yep.
All right. Well, whoever's elected will have to hurry up and get sworn in to make it to the meeting on the 24th.
Well, the public can come to the meeting though.
That-
Just wouldn't be able to vote.
Fair enough. You wouldn't count towards quorum, I guess.
It is a contested race, I'm just saying, tell you friends. I come first alphabetically, so.
This little face of.
For the people who just check the first 3 names. You don't have to worry about Scott's name either. Alphabetically, not as a trustee.
Okay, that was the last official item of new business. Items not reasonably anticipated by the chair. Do we have any walk-ons?
Didn't have anything today, right?
Well, my only thing is to thank our walk off. Well, thanks for your time. Much appreciated.
Yes.
Thanks for taking minutes on your last meeting.
I know. I feel like we saw you from just about every state.
Yeah, I mean, maybe were a couple that I wrote there was.
Yeah, people joke that I travel too much.
Yeah. Thanks for your volunteering your time to the effort. Thanks for your opinion, your take on things. It's very greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, so.
Very good. Awesome.
And you'll always be a patron, so just keep your eye on what's going on and you can send us tips.
Too easy.
Or come sit in for public participation.
There you go.
He's done his 3 years,
I don't
alright?
mind
They might call
It's
in.
just if I'm there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is that on his lap on a Zoom?
From the phone booth downstairs.
Yeah. The call came from inside the house.
Yeah.
And just real quick, at these that you passed out, so this, I know you said it's from a grant, do we have like a bunch of these, or these downstairs like a brochure for people to take? Is it just, it looks like it's mostly the artwork and.
It's intended to be a self-guided kind of walking tour of the art of the building.
Oh, it's all art, okay.
It's-
That's, there's like some history.
pretty much all
maybe.
art.
People sometimes walk and they'll wanna know what it is, so now.
It's all the
There's
significant
something
work.
there. So as part of the plan that's part of the grant, that the idea is to go to the treasure room and have all these things that should be visible to the public, but are not because they've been protected. And now that we can digitize things and put things in better order and get it all a little more accessible for people to use, that's the goal of it. And there's a video, where is that video? Is it on our website? They made a video, like a little promo, and it's great. It's great. And it's the voiceover is Stephanie, the administrative assistant, who does not have a Boston accent. I think she's from Connecticut.
It's a video of the same, like the artwork.
It talks about the entire project and how the project will include both what's in the treasure room and our archiving, and also personal archiving that you can do yourself for your own projects, and how we have a digital media lab that will help you do that if you want to do it. We've had a couple of programs already that have been well attended. The woman came to do photographs, that was a sellout. Yeah.
And so real quick follow-up, because you talked about digitization. Do we have any stats with the daily item being finished? And
It doesn't collect stats, it's
so we
not,
don't know if it's.
oh, it's being used. We get, reference gets questions about it constantly. And Karen did a class, I guess, it was a small class, but she did it hands-on and gave everybody laptops and showed them how to search and kind of the ins and outs of it.
To when is it digitized through? Not current, not like.
No,
last week's.
I think
Probably
our
95 right now?
oh no, it's all the way through 2023, 2020.
What was the lag time at the item one?
3 months we have to keep,
Okay.
and it probably will end up being closer to 6, because we just sent the last batch of microfilm, and because starting in July of last year, we got PDFs from the item, which we are cheaper we can just forward those along and they can add them to the archive. So I can't think of where I think we're through. They have through, I think, September of last year right now.
So I can tell you, we just did the 10th anniversary of the Wakefield Boys and Girls Club, and we didn't have a lot of like the early newspaper clippings, and it was just like we were able to go and grab all of this stuff that was early from 10 years ago, but we had lost a lot of stuff, so
Yeah.
it was certainly useful and used.
And you can keyword it.
Yeah, it was as easy as telling people, go to this website and search for this and
Yeah,
everything, so yeah. It's great.
yeah, I use it a lot. I'm surprised how often I use it.
It is funny how often you
Look up your address.
Yeah.
No, I have, I've gone on a couple times and like looked up.
See what happened there in the 20s, it was good.
Oh, yeah, because in the 20s, it was almost like everything was social, like I put in my address, and in the 20s, the family that lived there, their son and his wife came for Christmas and they stayed for a week.
Oh.
And it was in the daily item.
It was,
It's a daily newspaper, they gotta fill their pinches.
Yeah, it's fun.
So you'll recheck it out.
Do we have a copy of this for our collection at the library for posterity?
Oh,
Oh, we're gonna put it in the treasure
just put
room?
in the treasure.
We're gonna archive the archive book?
it needs to be done. How many copies have we got?
We have 200 at the moment, but we have the files. It was not tremendously expensive to print.
Yeah, so that was printed with grant funds,
Yeah.
which is kinda nice.
If there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved.
All right, let's vote. Amy?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yeah.
Yes, we adjourn at 8:11 PM. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.